In this practice, we'll be focusing on our fingers and hands. It's not a targeted practice where we're only doing hand yoga. We'll combine actions of the hands as we do yoga poses. You'll gain strength and flexibility in your fingers and hands. We'll begin seated. Sit in whatever position feels right to you and place your hands in Anjali mudra. This is a hand position that we use so often in yoga. Start by pressing the fingertip tops and drawing from the fingertips all the way down to the base of the fingers and to the base of the thumb. Now draw the hand down so that you're really pressing in. Continue to press in, especially at the tops of the fingers. Draw your hands down a little bit more and reach the hands up. Draw them down. Notice how one hand feels like it's engaging a little bit more than the other. See if you can balance that out. Reaching the hands up, pressing as you take them down. Now reverse this prayer position. When you reverse the prayer position, just notice if the base of the hand is pressing in or if there's a little gap there. You want that little gap as confirmation that you're still really working the tips of the fingers and the base of the fingers. You can draw the fingers down again, lift them up, and draw them down. Lift up as high as possible and draw them down. Lift up. Release your hands and interlace your fingers. Just do a little work that you can really stimulate the webbing between the fingers. Now change that up. Whatever position you were in, you can shift that and change it again. Now let's work with those interlaced fingers. Now that we've got the hand stimulated nicely, come to stand. Step wide. Draw your right toes out. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Now with the fingers interlaced, pull the wrist creases in toward one another. With the hands behind you, draw the elbows in toward each other and the base of the thumbs in toward each other. Bend your knee with a strong engagement of the hands. Draw your heart down toward your right inner knee. Lift your hands up slightly, keeping the elbows bent. Draw your heart a little bit lower into the pose, keeping the back leg strongly rooted. Free your hands. Place your hands to your low back. Press your flesh down to rise up. Let's come to the opposite side where you'll turn your left toes out. Stimulate the webbing again so that you have a nice fluidity and engagement in the hands. Now take the hands behind you. Interlace your fingers in a way that's slightly different from the way that you did before. Pull the base of the thumbs in toward each other. Pull the elbows in toward each other. Bend your knee. Draw your heart down very slowly as you keep a strong rootedness to the back foot. Slowly lift your interlaced fingers slightly up off the low back. Soften even more as you draw it down toward the earth. Free your hands by placing the palms to your low back. Press your flesh down to rise up, to come out of the pose. Parallel your feet with your hands at your hips. Heel toe your feet in toward each other and come to the top of your mat. At the top of your mat, take your right foot forward, take your left foot back, place your hands behind your back with your hands in this reverse namaste position. Spread your fingers. Draw your weight back toward your back foot. Press from the fingertips to the base of the fingers to the base of the thumb in that order as you draw down. Keep a nice lifting quality to the shoulders so that your heart leads the way. Keep the back foot rooted down to inhale. Rise up to come out of the pose. Release your hands and step your back foot forward. Step your right foot back. Once again, you can take your hands in this reverse namaste position, starting with the fingertips. Press the fingertips, then the base of the fingers, then the base of the thumbs. From whatever position feels comfortable for you, with your left foot forward, your right foot back, lean back to get this firm footing from a nice anchored back foot. Draw yourself forward and slightly down. Just notice a nice stretch to the back leg, calf muscles lengthening as you draw down. Keep this firm rootedness through the back foot to inhale and rise up out of the pose. You can release your hands. If some hand positions get slightly painful for us, doing waves with your hands is really a nice way to recover. I'm doing waves one direction, but it's great for the brain if you can do waves in both directions. Now let's come to our belly and work our fingers a little bit more. As you come to your belly, place your fingertips right under your elbows. Hug your elbows in. On the in-breath, lift yourself up and really press into the fingers. Exhale, draw down. Inhale, fingertip tops are pressing to give strength and stability to the palms through the strength of the finger action. Rise up. Exhale, soften down. Inhale, rise up. Just keep on pulsing, relying on the strength of your fingers. Inhale and exhale. Come to tabletop position. In tabletop position, just as we did in Anjali Mudra, by starting fingertips pressing, base of the fingers, then base of the thumbs in that order. Do the same now in tabletop position. Fingertip top position with the fingers really spreading, then base of the fingers, then base of the thumbs. With nice spread fingers, it allows both stability and strength. You have this nice anchored quality for arm balances. For now, we'll use this in the 8-point pose as you claw the earth with the fingertip top still pressing, the first knuckle slightly lifted. Draw your shoulders slightly forward. Draw your heart down. Take your heart forward. Lift up. Come back to all fours position. Let's do that 2 more times. Come forward, bend the elbows, lead with your heart, pelvis is still lifted. Inhale, lift up. 1 more. All fours position, come slightly forward, lower down, draw your heart forward, and come back. Now, if again you're feeling any issues in the wrists, one way to address that is to take the back side of the hand to the mat, come to the tabletop position doing that. So as you place the back side of the palm down, you begin to straighten your arms as much as possible and release out of the pose. We'll do downward facing dog using that fingertip top placement technique. As you press the fingertips down, then the base of the fingers, then the base of the thumbs, to lift yourself up to come to downward facing dog. When we're doing a lot of hand work, very often the jaw begins to get a little tight through the hand work. So allow your jaw to relax. Allow your neck muscles to relax by just nodding your head yes and shaking it no. And now come to a place of stillness where the weight of the head just helps you elongate your neck muscles. And enjoy your downward facing dog with strong hands, with this sense of rootedness, the strength of the arms. Allow for ease in the pose. When you anchor your fingers in such a way that you get the stability all the way from the fingertips through the area of the heart to the pelvis, there is so much freedom. There's so much ease in the pose. Now, make your way to a seated pose. In your seated pose, bend your right knee, thread your left foot underneath the right knee. Maybe you can even take your right foot to the outside of the left knee, your choice. As you come to sit in whatever pose feels right for you, place your right fist into the palm of the left hand and really push the fist very firmly into the palm of the hand. Now do an easy twist, twisting toward the right and back. And don't let up with the hands. Keep on twisting to the right and back. The left hand is working very firmly against the right hand. The right hand is resisting and back. Now come to sit in the opposite way. So your left knee is lifted. Your left foot is to the outside of the right leg. If that doesn't feel right to you, by all means, straighten the bottom right leg. Now let's do the opposite direction. So make a fist with the left hand, push it into the palm of the right, twist, back to center, twist, back to center, and twist again, and back to center. So there you have it. Just a few actions to gain more strength and flexibility in your fingers, your hands, and your wrists. Thank you for joining the practice. Namaste.